I didn't necessarily plan on going live like every single day this month, but I've had just such an overwhelming response from messages from people, and it's just been really awesome. And so I just keep wanting to give value to you guys, and anything that you can take from it, take from it. Anything you disagree with, let me know. Anything that I can help you with, please let me know that too. Don't mind my crazy hair. I just realized I have paint in my hair and on my forehead. AJ and I were doing this, we were painting with our feet. So that was fun. But anyways, I just wanted to, something really cool happened, I guess, when I went to the doctor. And that's obviously the title of this video, is what happened when I stepped on the scale at the doctor. And this is something that I'm super duper passionate about. And if you're already like part of my community, you kind of know that this is something that I'm very, I almost want to say strict about, but something that it's very important. So anyways, what happened to me when I stepped on the scale today is, and I'm just going to tell you guys, and a lot of you, just please hear me out. A lot of you are probably going to be like, oh yeah, that sucks. But anyways, when I stepped on the scale today, she was like, oh, nice. Like, must be nice kind of a thing. And I weighed 128 pounds. And for me, I've always been like 128 to 135, pretty much always, like always. When I was younger, it was definitely less than that, but I kind of like go between there. Thanks, Sean. I know, like, everybody's like, okay, please don't stop. So I just like things just keep coming to me, like in my meditations and my reading and stuff. And so anyway, so today when I went on the scale, it's almost like the nurse was like, oh, must be nice type of a thing. And to me, like, I just was like, okay, well, first of all, I work hard. Like, this is my journey, and I do work very hard. And also, I kind of was a little bit shocked because I have been lifting heavier. And so I kind of assumed that I was going to weigh a little more right now. And so anyways, there's that. But the whole point of this video is this. Okay, people are so consumed with the number on the scale, and it is like literally crippling for people. Like the people that start in my groups, I literally have to tell people to stay off the scale. I'm like, okay, we're going to start your program tomorrow. So today you're going to, weigh yourself and take measurements, but most importantly, you're going to take pictures, because here's what happens. People want to get on that scale like daily. Like they'll weigh themselves one day and then they'll weigh themselves the next day. So many things can happen in a day. It depends what time of day you weigh yourself. It depends if you've gone to the bathroom. It depends how much water you've had. It depends what you've eaten, right? So to get on the scale daily is so bad. Even weekly, like people in my group that have to get on that scale, I'm like, okay, look, you can get on the scale once a week. Like once a week, if you're busting your ass and you're eating well and you're exercising and you're doing all of the things that you should be doing and you're drinking enough water and you know that you're giving your all, you can get on the scale. However, people sometimes gain weight, right? Because they're lifting weights for the first time, or they're adding, all of those different things to it. So people will then see that they're gaining weight, and so they'll automatically give up. Like automatically. It's like you're 1 week into a program or a new routine. Like you can't give up in 1 week's time, but it happens, right? It's just what happens to people. Like they're like, oh, look at the scale. I'm gaining weight. I knew this wasn't going to work. And whatever it is, not just what I do, whatever it is. Most oftentimes, why people are gaining weight too is because they're not eating enough. Like you can't start new things. When you start something new, you really have to do the whole thing. So I wanted to give a little bit of a backstory also for people that don't quite know why I started the 21-day fix. That's the first thing that I did. And because it's kind of the same thing. So Kelsey, that's who I saw that was doing the 21 day fix. And for me, I was like, you're like the cutest little thing ever. Why would you want to, why would you need to do this workout thing? Why would you need to have these containers to measure your food? And, she's like, I'm just not happy. She has a daughter, and she was like, well, I'm just not happy like where my body is. And, it's the same for people that need to gain weight. It's the same for people that need to lose weight. It's the same for people that are in a journey, in a process. The thing is that it is a journey. It is a process. It doesn't just end. You don't just like get to your goal and then, well, I shouldn't say you don't, because it happens all the time. You get to your goal and then you quit. It's going to come back, right? Like this is something that you have to do all of the time. I remember like always thinking about people, I went to the gym, like later in my 20s, I went to the gym and I always did abs. And so I had like my abs were in check or whatever. I really never worked my legs. So I would do the treadmill or I would do the stepper for like 10 minutes. Like that was my legs. And so now when people see me, they're like, whoa, like what happened? Like I'm very small on top and I am packing down below, which is kind of cool. And so between teaching cycle and always wanting to lift heavier, I like to stay above 130. So that's kind of what happened today, is all of these thoughts went through my head because it made me a little bit sad. And I am kind of surprised that I didn't say anything to the nurse when she weighed me and just kind of was like, oh, nice. It just was like, normally I probably would say something, but, anyways, for me, it was like, no, I wish I was like over 130 right now. Like I'm trying to, lift heavy. So what made me start is I was a new mom. And I didn't really think like, again, because I was skinny, like I've always been smaller. Not always. I mean, I fluctuate and, whatever, but I've been smallish. Like most people would consider that I was small, but I was very, 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 very weak. And so why I wanted to start, and I guess I didn't even really know that at the time, but now when I look back at pictures of like from when I started, like I had a C-section, there was a nerve sewn and stuff like when I had the C-section. And now looking back, even after the first 21 days that I did, the difference was so crazy because I was like hunched over, right? Like I used to be strong, like I'm strong-willed and strong this and strong, you know what I mean? And so like I was hunched over. I was weak. I was like super just like you know what I mean? Like there was no strength, there was no stamina, there was no like, when I did my first workout, I was like going to die. And it's cool for like with my coaching business, like I started at the very beginning. So I am very relatable to everybody that starts these programs because I was probably one of the worst. Okay, so I was a new mom. I had the C-section. I was super duper duper weak. I also still smoked cigarettes like on the weekends. I don't know if any of you like still hold on to that like once in a while smoke or whatever, but I had like an emergency pack of cigarettes in the freezer just in case like I was drinking and thought that I should smoke. And so I always have had asthma and never could do cardio. And of course the very, very first workout is total body cardio. And so for like 7 months, I had to modify that workout, right? Then I would do the next day. The next day is upper fix. And so it's like abs and upper weights, upper body. And, I used to be strong, or I was like well, first of all, a lot of you know that I was just one of those people that didn't sweat. Right, because I didn't do anything. Like I would go to the gym and like I said, do the stepper for 10 minutes or like do abs, and I'm just not a sweater. Well, yeah, you're not going to sweat if you're not putting work in right now. Like if you follow me on Snapchat or, see my videos, usually in the videos you can't really tell, but like when I'm done with my workout, I'm pretty sweaty. So, it's just, it's a journey, and there's different stages and there's different things that you're going to try at different times. And, so so being consumed by a number on the scale, it just is, it's so bad, and it's so hard for your growth, because if that's all you're focusing on, it's just never ever gonna work for you. Because the reason why I have people take pictures, and this is every single time, the reason why I have people take pictures before they start a new program is because, say it's a 21-day program, 30-day program, 60-day program, 90-day program, whatever the case is, especially if they're the scale people, they're going to see weight gain. If they're gaining a bunch of muscle, they're going to see, not losing a ton of weight. And so doing your measurements and taking your pictures is so much more important than getting on a scale. I don't even own a scale, you guys. The last time that I got weighed was, I did weigh myself at the cycle studio in like December or something like that, but I just don't do it because I know how I feel. Hey, boo! I was just saying, actually, we were just talking about this the other day in one of our group threads, that about our weight and what we weigh, and because like all of our programs go based on what your weight is, and then do you want to lose weight and slim down, or do you want to maintain, add muscle? Like, there's, all of our programs are so scientifically calculated out. And it's funny because like with the program I'm doing right now is Hammer and Chisel, it tells you to eat like a lot more than you eat for most of the other programs. And so as much as I tell the people in our community, like, trust the process, like, just do the equation and do what it says, it's always like, oh wait, should I really be having 4 or 5 carbs? Yes, the answer is yes, because excuse me, here goes my throat now, because you're lifting heavier, you're using tons of muscles you weren't going to use before, and all of that stuff. So anyways, Jennifer, I was just saying that I got weighed, and the nurse was like, oh nice, and I weighed 128, and that was with my boots and stuff on, right? So like, how many of you guys like get there and you're like, can I take off this? Oh, hold on, let me put my purse down. Like, I remember doing that. Oh, hold on. Oh, or thinking like, oh, I'm sure it was just my coat because my coat's super thick, right? Who cares? Who gives a crap? That was close. But I was thinking to myself like, oh, I should weigh a little more right now, 130, 132. Because then I feel like when I'm weighing less that I am too skinny, right? So anyways, for me, like, fit is the new skinny. I don't want to be skinny. I want to be strong. And it's funny because a lot of people will message me like, so are you doing vegetarian because you want to lose weight? Or are you doing vegetarian because the meal plan doesn't work? Or are you doing vegetarian because, whatever the different questions are? And for me, really, I wanted to do the ultimate reset, which removes basically everything, and you're not really able to work out. You can do yoga and stuff like that, but I can't function without working out. It's just a part of me now. It's really, really a part of my routine and what I love to do. And if I don't have that part, I'm off. And it's just what it is. I love to teach my class. I love to do these workouts. And especially because I was in kind of a funk for quite some time, for like 3 months over the winter. It was really, really bad. And I've shared that before. But it just wasn't an option for me to do the ultimate reset now and to not be able to work out. So I'm just doing vegetarian to just kind of clean it up for a little bit. And like tonight I did have shrimp, so I made shirataki noodles, which is basically, I was going to say fungi. It's like tofu noodles. They're actually really good. The first time I had them, I was like, oh, but they were really, really good. So what I made was shirataki noodles, shrimp, and portobello mushrooms with pesto, and it was the bomb. It was delicious. So no, I'm not eating vegetarian to lose weight, or everyone always has like well, why is she doing that? That her programs must not work if she's doing vegetarian. It's actually written in how you can do a vegetarian meal plan. These are formulated for everybody with every different kind of lifestyle or, way that they choose to eat. So anyways, it's just something I did have 2 meatballs last week. I went to my neighbor's house, and here's another thing. Like, I'm not really great at being very strict. So, like, on one hand, I feel like oftentimes I almost get down on myself because I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Well, because I do work out really, really hard, and I do eat clean like 90% of the time. So why? Like, who cares? Like, if I had a couple beers at the parade, or, I had the meatballs last week as kind of actually just to see what was going to happen, like, with my body. And it was 2 meatballs, and I was sick. I was sick that night. Like, I had really bad stomach pains and all of that kind of stuff. My skin is definitely, glowing. I actually, like, the first couple of days I felt really hungry, but I started it before I started this program. So now that I'm adjusted and know, like, that I should have all of this protein and actually more carbs and all that stuff, it's actually working out really well. So it's just something that I enjoy, and AJ enjoys it too. He enjoys, like, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, as do I. He wasn't really digging meat for quite a while, so that's kind of what made me decide to do it now and to do it, like, with a program. So, just, I know it's crippling. I know the scale kills people, and again, like, just put it, like, in the garage, or just, like, get it out of there. It doesn't mean anything. Take pictures at the beginning of starting a new routine. And the thing is that you see yourself every single day, right? You see yourself every day. So when you're working hard at something, or maybe you're not working hard at something, that's the other thing. Like, are you really giving your all? Are you like I used to be? Like, oh, I'm just not a sweater. I had no idea what I was doing back then. Like, I just was going to the gym to be like, oh, hey, look at me on the stepper. Oh, look at this abs. Like, yeah, I would kill it in abs because that's all I really cared about. I knew nothing about how to grow my backside, or, and I didn't want to. Like, it hurt to do legs. You know what I mean? Like, I just kind of was like, oh, I have bad knees. Like, oh, my shoulders, I have tendonitis in my rotator cuff. I can't lift super heavy. And now, like, all of that is way gone. I get my time hops now, and I look at, like, even up till, Jennifer, she's my partner in all of this, even 1 year ago. So I've been doing this for 2.5 years. So even 1.5 years into it, we were working out together one day, and she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing with that 5-pound weight? Or I can't even remember. It probably was a 10-pound weight for, like, lower exercises. She was like, girl, no, go pick up some weight, And I just always was like, oh, I just can't do that. So the limiting self beliefs, or the I can't do that, or, I have knee problems. I've had it all. Like, when I got in my car accident, I was wrecked. They were like, you have, your knees are all full of water. You have early arthritis. You're not going to be able to do that. That clicking's not going to go away. Your back, I don't know, it's your thoracic spine. That's typically, not something that you're probably going to have to stick with lighter workouts and stuff like that. And it was at that point where I was like, hell no. Nope, not going to happen, because I knew that I was getting stronger and I knew that I was getting better, but I still was only doing, I think it was 5 and 8 pound weights. I think I might have thrown some 10-pound weights in there sometimes, but it was like low weights. And don't get me wrong, if that's what you're using right now, that's great. If you're in my community, you know that already by usually the second week, we're still just getting you, like, into what you should be doing. But the third week, if you're in my groups, the third week, we're like, okay, you guys, it's time to kick it up a bit. So that's what we're there for you, step by step by step. We know when you're going to be able to add some more weight. We know that if you're adding more weight, you're probably going to add some pounds. We know that staying off the scale is so crucial. We know that taking the pictures and measurements is so crucial. You see yourself every single day. So even, like, for instance, my first round, sorry. my first round, it was 21 days, and I followed it to a T. I used all of my containers. As all of you guys know, I still use my containers daily, because if I don't use my containers, I don't eat enough. It seems silly, and you think, after doing it for so, it's just like people that use a scale to measure their food. Like, it's the same concept, it's just easier. I just chop up my stuff, put it in there, and throw it on the plate. But if I don't do that, I way undereat. In fact, I wasn't measuring for like a while, and then when I would go back and be like, oh, okay, this should be about, it was like way off. I was like way short. So, so that's super important, is to know that you're fueling enough and all of that good stuff. So, don't just get rid of the scale. Or if you're going to do the scale, then try to do the scale that measures like body fat. And not all scales are created equally, right? So it may say that it calculates your body fat, but chances are it's not doing a good job, or you can get that tested or whatever, but just stop. Just stop. Like, take the pictures and look at the before and afters and look at the difference and know how you feel. Ultimately, it's about how you feel. Are you proud of yourself? Do you have more energy? Do you sleep better at night? Are you able to get up in the morning and get it done? Are you having less anxiety? Are you more productive? Are you more focused? Are you, like, all of these things is what comes along with having a routine and working on yourself and trying to do better and setting new goals each week and all of that. The scale has nothing to do with that. It really doesn't. So, as a lot of people, like my nurse today, were like, oh, nice, for me, it just doesn't mean anything. It means that I need to go up to 30-pound weights to do my squats, because I want to be over 130 pounds, which a lot of people are like, you do? You don't want to be 128 pounds? And maybe it's just 2 pounds, but like, to me, I start to feel too skinny if I weigh under 130 pounds. Now, before, it might have been a different story, but I still, luckily, I don't know why some people get into that, the need to have the scale. I just know that it's very real. It's almost an addiction, honestly. And I know that now from working with so many people and doing so many of the nutrition classes and stuff like that. And I know it's a real thing, and it's hard. It's very, very hard. So, I know that it takes some time to kind of get over that, or, to trust the reasons why, you might not be losing weight right away. But just know that if you're giving your all, and if you're not, after a few weeks, if you're not seeing differences in your pictures or like doing your measurements, measurements are so huge too, because even though you may be gaining weight or staying the exact same, chances are you're dropping a ton of inches, and hopefully you're seeing a difference. Here's a big tip too. If you're taking pictures, make sure, excuse me, make sure that for yourself, you're taking a picture, like if you're a guy without a shirt and some shorts, if you're a girl, with a sports bra and shorts, whatever the case is, so you can see that. Like in my groups, if people are uncomfortable with sending me their full out pics, see, a lot of people send their full out pics because they're like, okay, this is the ultimate, sorry on my light, you guys should, I have a Mac, I have a different laptop, a screen, like it's serious. When AJ goes to bed and it's my work time, it's like time to go. So anyway, sorry, I lost some light there. Anyway, some people send me the full, no shirt or sports bra or whatever the case is, because they're like, I know that if I send these pictures, that's what's going to hold me accountable. It's what's going to make sure that I stay on track. We do these commitment letters. Let me know if you want me to send you a commitment letter. You don't have to be in my groups for that. It literally just says, this journey, I commit to myself this time. I commit to sticking to my goals, and these are my 3 goals. Okay, I'm going to be real with you guys, and I told my group right away. One of my 3 goals was that I wasn't going to drink for this round, just because, again, I'm working very hard on my nutrition and stuff, and with the vegetarian plan, and we're going to Punta Cana. So I was like, I'm not going to drink this round. And then I had beers at the parade the other day, and I was like, I had beers, you guys. Like, nobody should be, nobody is perfect, and it should be about balance. So if you're doing a program, allow yourself to have some treats and stuff like that. Do it most of the time, and then it's okay to splurge. Don't splurge for a whole weekend, because I can tell you that, okay, splurge for a weekend. If you're gone on a weekend, if you're on a trip for a week, I just know that, like, for me, if I splurge for a weekend, I am back to square one. And that's what makes it a journey. Like, no one's ever going to be perfect or exactly where they want to be. People, it's another thing is, like, when you get more into fitness and being fit and being strong, there's different, like for us, we help people through their first program, and then maybe they do a couple of rounds, and then, we work with everybody very, very closely. Like, okay, should you include the Performance Line, which is the recovery drink? Are you looking to add definition in your lower half? Are you looking to get better in cardio? It's funny because I was always a weights person, and now I love cardio. And, same thing with other people, as a lot of people are so in the mindset that it has to be cardio. And it's great to lift weights. Women look great when they lift weights, right? So anyways, that's just, it's how the journey goes. So don't be defined by the scale. The scale does not define you. There's so many other things that are so much more important than the number on the scale. And, again, today I was kind of shocked that the number was lower than I thought. And so now tomorrow I'm going to want to lift really heavy. But anyways, thanks for jumping on. And tomorrow I am going to tell you guys about personal development, because that's also really, really important. So have a good night.